Hi, in this video we're going to get the microbit chip to sound an alarm if it's tampered with. So if you think about it, you've got your chip, and if it's just lying there, it's not doing anything, then obviously no one is touching it. But if it moves, i.e. for example, if it shakes, then someone's at your microbit and you want it to give you a warning. So we're going to set up a little simple alarm system. And we're going to get it, when it's moved, it's going to send an alarm to a second microbit so that you can have the second microbit with you. And when your first microbit is tampered with, you'll know. So on the start, we're going to send a radio signal. So if I go down to radio, I'm going to set a radio group. And you can set it to anything like 77, for example. And that's the frequency on which your chip will work. And any chip with this program downloaded on it will be able to send a message from one microbit to another. Then we're going to, forever we don't need, the input we're going to use is on shake. In other words, when the chip is shaken, when it's moved, then what must it do? Well, it must send a radio signal to the other microbit. So it's going to send a string, for example, saying, there's a thief, there's a problem. So for under radio, I'm going to go radio send string, and then in here it's going to say thief, for example. So if we just test that and refresh it, I shake the chip, and you see there's a second chip. I shake it, and it should send the radio signal to that second chip. But we've got to get that signal to show, to display. So we need an on radio received string. When it receives that string that's been sent, then it must what must it do? Yes, it must show that string, and I'm just going to copy that down there. Whatever that received string is, it must show that string. So let's test that. Let me just refresh that. We're going to shake the chip, send it, and the second we shook this one, and this one is saying stop thief. So we know that our program is working. But we also wanted to send an alarm. We might not notice that there's just some text flashing across the screen, so we're going to make an alarm. And I'm going to set up a separate function. So if I go down to my functions, and I make a function, and I'm going to call it alarm. I better say something like sound alarm. Adding that function. So what must happen when it sounds the alarm? Well, first of all, when it on its shakes, it's going to send that string, and it's going to call up that alarm function. Okay, and when you receive the string on the second microbit, it's going to sound that alarm, and then whatever we put here under alarm is what's going to be displayed. So I could make this a musical sound, for example, an alarm sound. So I'm going to go to music, and I'm going to choose to play middle C. But if that's just one beat, then that's hardly going to stop the thief. If I go shake there, it says thief, but it's only got beep, and I might not notice that. So one thing I can do is use loops, and I can repeat multiple times. So I could repeat for about 20 times, for example, to sound the alarm. And now when I shake it, it's pulsing 20 times, and that should alert me to the fact that there's a problem going on. Well, it's a very simple little program, but I think fairly effective. You'd know if someone was moving your microbit.